Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Sweat Equity Academy. We was Sweat Equity Podcast, but we decided that we were building a platform that was giving a lot of jewels and information that will help future entrepreneurs, builders, founders, and creators. And I am your host, Audio Jones, and our other host here, Mr. Abebe Lewis.
Guy right here. What's up? What's up? It's your boy Abebe Lewis from Abebe Lewis Marketing and Branding Group.
Yes, sir.
The music mecca of Miami Circle House Studios and the bad boys of reggae Inner Circle. And we just added another notch on our belt with the Big Sound Stage and Lighting Company. So we got about 4 or 5 different entities that kind of all work together in the essence of entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Got a lot of things going.
A lot of good things going.
A lot of good things going too. I know you got. Let's jump into what you got going on.
Definitely,
because we got a lot. First of all, we got a great show for you guys today. We got a lot of topics today. We're gonna do something different. We are gonna do some reactions to some content. We're not without content right now. There's a lot going on in the news feed. But let's get the business out the way, man. So, Inner Circle. Did you say Japan?
Yeah, Japan, man. It's been a busy year for Inner Circle, man, so far. But this morning, they left 5 a.m. to Japan. You know what I'm saying? They'll be back next week. But
you didn't want to go with them?
I didn't want to go because I had to stay and
Well, you got to hold down the fort.
The fort, and there's a lot of different businesses and things. And if they were going for longer, maybe. But it's only 3 shows in Japan they have. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's a real good thing to see their music. And being able to withstand this long and cross over, because Japan is one of our biggest markets on Spotify.
Okay.
So you can kind of look and dictate like where your Spotify page is kind of like jumping at. And if you're not getting shows there, something wrong.
So the Japanese like reggae.
Yeah. Love reggae. Love reggae. Reggae music. Bob Marley kicked the door down. And the culture reggae still they love. It's Inner Circle and the Wailers going over there. So it's like from the Bob Marley and the Wailer perspective. So it's like traditional roots reggae going down there. But they left this morning, but last night at the Delray Beach, at the Palm Beach Reggae Fest, we got a show last night. Okay. So my dad is 71 and the other members of Inner Circle. And
he running circles around 20
What? So they finished the show at about 11, right?
Yeah.
And that's the Inner Circle perspective. Big Soundstage and Lighting was the sound company.
Right.
That worked the show. So after the show, I couldn't leave. I have to break down the equipment.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So while we did that, my dad left in the tour bus to go back to the studio to get a little bit of rest, to leave on a 5 a.m. flight, while we broke the rest of the gear down. You know what I'm saying? It's just a team effort, period. And you have to control every aspect of entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So Big Sound helps us with more control of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Because the band is independent.
Yeah, we're independent. We're independent distributed.
And independent, do your own production
equipment. Yeah. So my dad's been doing this so long that he knows he's teaching us how to like cultivate, put shows together. So when you are at a concert or a festival and you hire Big Sound Stage and Lighting, you could also hire a Abebe Lewis Marketing and Branding Group separately. You can also hire Inner Circle to perform on your festival if it's a reggae fest or it fits the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So with Big Sound, it just gives us more power with the client. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To give him the greatest sound, then be like, okay, here's the average setup for your festival at this park, right?
Right.
Everybody puts the stage in the middle or puts this here or puts that here. Okay, we're going to look at the spectrum because we know how to set up stages and we can move our stage anywhere we want to put it because we have different size stages. So we can make your festival be a 3-stage festival instead of a 1-stage festival.
Right.
Now you have more angles to promote your festival. Mm-hmm. So if you have 3 stages, you could be like the kid stage, the teenage stage, and then you have the old school stage.
Yeah.
Now a person marketing the festival now can walk in with different marketing capabilities to be able to say, hey, now he does a commercial across the board.
Yeah.
Before, when he was only targeting one set of people. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the greatest thing with those separate businesses and those separate entities being able to be effective and being able to One, help them market if they want to hire from a BB Lewis marketing branding group. Two, if you want to book Inner Circle and have a wonderful performance with a reggae band at your festival. Three, the big soundstage and lighting. We can help you cultivate your festival to help you with booking, vendors, insurance, your permitting. You know what I'm saying? So it just go
as
ahead.
far as the marketing component, you help like align like sponsorships and other like
A little bit, but I'm not a sponsor guy. But I
Okay.
can create the hype where the sponsor is going to call you.
Oh,
You
okay,
know what I'm
okay.
saying?
So you create like campaigns to raise
Campaigns,
brand
and then
awareness.
you gotta understand, like, what are you doing the festival for? Like, I give a big shout out to Rolling Loud. You know what I'm saying? That Matt and Tariq guy, man, they built something right here in South Florida,
I saw it from the jump.
and wasn't able to make more money from it, like to hugely from the merch perspective to the weekly parties to the, you know what I'm saying? The more we can do those things is the more opportunities that we have as a whole, you know, entertainment wise, you know, the urban, you know.
No, yeah. So definitely. So you help strategically do the marketing to raise the profile awareness for the festival, and then you come and compound with, hey, but we can also provide you the production, the stage. Oh, and here's a kicker: if you want a legendary band.
And I can give you a great price when you're buying all four. You know what I'm saying?
A good
So when you're buying all four, it's a package deal. But if you're buying a la carte, it's the same thing like a restaurant. You know, if you want I want a ribeye, but then I want this, I want that, but you didn't buy the combo. You know what I'm saying?
So if you want the bundle deal.
You want the bundle deal.
You want the bundle deal.
And it all works hand in hand, because if you don't use our company, you're gonna have to use some sort of company like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what else outside of Inner Circle, the bands, you know, they haven't stopped. I think, I mean, what was it, 2022 World Tour started?
Well, I got some big news with we did that Stay Strong concert.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that Stay Strong concert, they did the check ceremony yesterday. It was on Instagram, on Miss Bobsy Grange's Instagram, you know, in Jamaica. She's in the Jamaica government, and Oliver Mayer. And they did $400,000 for Jamaica. That concert we did here.
That's the capital raise?
That's the capital raise. And, you know, is with they did a check ceremony, you know, private check ceremony with the CEOs of the Hard Rock and Jamaican government. It's all over Instagram, and you can see it. And it was they raised $400,000 for the hurricane victims.
That's impressive.
I'm so elated to be a part of that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Through Inner Circle, the Bad Boys of Reggae, and through Big Sound, stage and lighting with the backline and stuff like that we did, you know? So there's results happening, and it's only March. You know what I'm saying? We've done so much, performed at the Heat game, 2 Stay Strong concerts, Naughty in Japan. They went to Brazil. Man, it's the greatest thing, man. It's the greatest thing, you know? No, God is great. God is great.
God is good. He's doing amazing things. I'm just getting all our topics together.
Definitely.
And I'm, you know, like my little input of helping to be part of the song. That was
Stay
really
Strong.
dope.
Yeah. Audio Jones is a part of the song Stay Strong. He helped produce the record along with my dad.
First production commission work I've done in years since I've been getting more comfortable saying I've retired. Yeah. You know, because I'm turning over this new.
No, but we're gonna bring you back slowly. We're gonna bring you back slowly but surely through like the advertising aspect of music. People don't understand. Man, you can make a Doritos commercial or a McDonald's commercial and make as much money as dropping a song. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know how much they paid that girl, the Dr. Pepper girl, the chunky girl.
There you go. There you go. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just never know. Or they said Pusha T wrote McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Reportedly, I don't know how true it is. They say got $500,000. You know what I'm saying? For that.
Back then during that time, and for that to be like the main. So we definitely got some topics lined up. Like we mentioned before that we're gonna react to. There's a creator, Sound Key. You know, we always got to give credit to the people who are doing the hard work and doing the journalism. And I wanted to play a clip because we've been experimenting with the concept, right?
Yeah.
AI's here. People are using it. They're making a lot of music. Yeah. You know, I think we're now seeing the platforms kind of try to mitigate the saturation, and they're deleting or banning music. Like I think Bandcamp decided that they're going no AI.
Wow.
I don't know how they're gonna do that, but they are developing like technologies to detect it. So it's weird because now you're starting to see people trying to put things in place. But let's just take a little quick listen to what this brother is saying about can you make money with AI music? And here's the clip.
Go ahead.
Spotify and watch the money roll in. But here's what those TikTokers aren't telling you. What's up? I'm Nate. Welcome to SoundKey. I spend way too much time researching AI music, so you don't have to. Suno, Udio, Spotify policies, all of it. Today we're answering the question everyone's asking. Can you actually make money with AI music? Let's get into it. First things first, yes, people are actually making money. This isn't fake. An AI country artist called Breaking Rust just became the first AI act to hit #1 on the Billboard charts. Not some obscure playlist, Billboard. Sienna Rose, an AI artist that most people didn't even know was AI, hit 3.6 million.
So, you know, we're playing a video, just giving you some context here. So the question was, and we were kind of like, you know, like I said, we were experimenting, ideating, because we can't be scared.
No,
because somebody's gonna do it.
They already doing it.
And they already doing this. We got case studies here. They were talking about Breaking Rust, the country artist that actually charted on Billboard.
Yeah.
There's some caveats there because I kind of like did a little research, and he charted because of like physical sales or digital sales. So there's a little bit of a game there being played. Like somebody went and bought 1,000 pieces.
Yeah.
And
they were doing that back then back in the days where they were actually purchasing the CDs too.
So
you know what I'm saying, with the sound scan. So it's the same game. It's just you got to be up on your game now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where when it comes to like the AI production, I think when I look at somebody and somebody brings me an AI production or an AI anything, if it's artwork, if it's this, I look at the actual graphic, then I can know almost like their brain capacity. You know what I'm saying? Through the prompts, through how they give it to me, and I see it.
You can see those who are like either excel at it. You can see the difference.
Yeah.
Like when you see somebody's
the
output,
thoughts, the way they prompt, the title, the caption. I can right away read something and see something and know the level in my eyes of how to utilize that person in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that graphic was put together, the hook line, the even when it's a song, the hook, is it a long 3-minute song? Is it a new 1 minute and 38-second song? It's like, what are they doing to really being able to use this whole AI thing with the new technology and the new thought processes of the entire gambit of the age groups of the people? You know what I'm saying? We have the 40 and up, we have the 30 and down, we have the 20 and, like, you know what I'm saying? We have so many different types of people that like so many different types of things. You know?
Reacting to can you make money in it, and I think you answer correctly. You can make money in it.
Yes, you can.
But then you do have the tamping down of it, right? You know, like I was talking about Bandcamp. I think Deezer is also developing like AI detection technology. It's because they're becoming inundated and flooded with so much what they call AI slop.
Yeah.
Do you think it's in 2026 going forward is still a viable strategy? Like, so, you know, if I'm an executive and I understand how to do music business, I can get with some really smart guys who know how to prompt. I'm definitely gonna have a music guy because he's gonna help with the output, and then I can make a AI artist. I don't think we've seen it yet. I think we've seen case studies that we say there's some reasonable level of success and some thresholds have been made or some benchmarks have been made. But do you think this going forward is a real thing? Like
Definitely. I would love to create like maybe 20 AI influencers for me. So I ain't got to sit here and like DM these influencers and ask these food influencers, ask these rap influencers and these product influencers for help. If I can build my own thing, then I can gauge if my idea is good enough and it'll work, instead of got an idea, now I can't find a promo. Now I got to go call Becky Sue or Jumpin' Jack Bob, or to help me with the initial idea, not the conceptualized part of the idea, but the promo part of the idea. You know what I'm saying? So like, and it's just, it just works like that. And I think if I have my own, I could test so many things that I have in my brain that I know it'll work. But sometimes when you have these ideas and they're great ideas and you bring it to somebody else, or you bring it to something that is there, it doesn't really, you know what I'm saying? Like your idea can get stifled. It can get watered down, and you lost that perspective. When I could have my own influence, I could do a case study. And then, you know, like honestly, my dad still tests records. You know what I'm saying?
Marketing,
we would do email blasts from huge companies and not even have the record out yet on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? And they'd be like, "What are you doing?" No, we're testing the record, dog. Let's see what the DJ's got to say back on the email blast. Let's still see if people are feeling the record a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It could be another mix of a hit song. It could be something, but do they feel it? You know?
Yeah, it's market. To me, that's like marketing 101. Is you test the market first before, like, even when I'm like consulting and telling people, like, you know, most people like want to run the ads. Paid media is gonna pay to play.
Yeah.
You know, if you have validated your product or your service or your offering, if it's good and it's validated, it's more than likely gonna work. But don't sleep on like organic media, which is what you're talking about, sending out organics, emails, content to test it, to validate it. Because a lot of people, they get very, especially creatives, like they think they most, you know, a lot of times this is my hit single.
Yeah.
And I never agree with like that philosophy, because it's like, you don't get to choose that.
I
Like,
agree with that.
The people pick that.
The people pick that,
So, you know, like a lot, the vestiges or what we used to do back then is still implemented today. Like you have to test.
100%.
You have to test. You know, like
100%.
before you go and take your $500 from your income tax and just go run Spotify ads or YouTube ads.
No, that's what I said. All the hottest albums this year was from rappers over 35. You know what I'm saying?
I am seeing a resurgence.
The J. Cole, the Kendrick. There's a lot of new rappers, you know what I'm saying? But the knowledge dropping and the album that people are like picking up and really getting to the kids is Kendrick and all these, and J. Cole, and these guys are older. You know what I'm saying? Not to say they're old, but like,
well,
they're
no,
not
I mean,
19
they're older statesmen in the context of like, you know, like I'm a millennial.
Yeah.
And I used to like rebuke that, but the fact is I am a millennial. But now we're at what, Gen Alpha, you know? So it's like there's two generations that, I mean, to be honest with you, they're probably the biggest J. Cole fans.
Yeah.
You know, they're listening to these. I ain't even finna say the name, because some music I gotta stand on my square. I'm a musician, but so you know, you're familiar with like YouTube faceless YouTube
pages,
content, right?
Yeah.
So what I kind of took from the context from what he was saying was, you know, whether or not this could be like a passive income source, which is like make AI music. You know, you service it, and then you can now make money from streaming revenue. How much of that do you think is like a viable business model?
I like the viable business model, but I don't think like, honestly, it should be a prorated thing if they find out it's AI. And then on top of it, I just feel like it should be like a prorated thing where it's not really like the full money.
Okay.
But you're getting prorated because you came up with something that people like. At the end of the day, people still have to like the AI that you come up with.
I've made some really good AI.
People got to come up with
sure.
People got to like it.
Yeah.
People got to want to stream it. People got to want to listen to it. You can try the tricks, but we know tricks like that don't stand about a month or about not too long with those tricks. You know what I'm saying? As we can segue into what you were with the fraud case, what you was talking about. You know what I'm saying?
So
like, eventually that guy got caught, and
he actually had an actual label. Yeah. And I'll play the clip from another creator, DJ Payne one. Been watching him for years. Really good at his journalism, and really gets into the topics and gets the facts in. He actually knows the individual who actually pleaded to 5 years.
But let's hear the case. You said he won what, 10 million? I mean, he gave.
Yeah, well, he had to pay back 8.
He had to pay back 8, and he made 10, so he gets to keep 2.
But he got to do 5 years.
You got to do 5 years. Okay.
Well, just.
But you know what's so crazy? That you can just generate $10 million on AI music.
But he was bot streaming.
He was bot streaming, but he beat the people to the like. He got caught, but there's 100,000 other people that's not gonna get caught. Yeah, they may slow down now because they use this guy as a case study to show everybody, like, hey, this is what you do. We're coming to get you. But how many people made it through? Go ahead, drop the clip.
Yeah. And I'll piggyback off of that because I got some really
facing up to 5
I got a position
years
on
in
that.
federal prison. I'm not making this up. This is real. And this is a producer I've actually worked with in the past. This is an ongoing case. You might be familiar with him. Check this out. His name is Mike Smith. Some of his credits include, let's see, Crooked Eye, Tech Nine, Sahai the Prince, DJ Who Kid, Snoop Dogg. Now, this guy didn't just make beats for
the white dude,
artists. He also started a record label. The record label was called SMH Records. I knew some people who were signed to that deal. He also co-created a series called One Shot. It was the One Shot Show. Now, on the One Shot Show, a lot of dope rappers were appearing.
So he was in the music business.
On the spot.
He's smart.
He got credits.
I don't remember.
So he was stealing, but he was helping.
But a solid 30 to 40%
Stealing
of those
is-
beats were mine. Honestly, I interacted with King Tech and Mike Trampy the most regarding getting my beats placed on the show. And a lot of the music that came out of that was great. I wish it had gone farther. But shortly after that, Mike Smith started running a multi-million-dollar streaming fraud campaign. This is the newest update. The feds have gotten a guilty plea out of him. This is the first U.S. streaming fraud case. Apparently
That's
it was
crazy.
8 million. At first it was 10 million when it was first reported, I believe. And he faces up to 5 years in prison after admitting to running this scheme. Now, what he did was, and of course everything's paywalled. You can read this article, as you can see. March 19th, this is, as I'm recording this is happening. On justice.gov, Michael Smith generated thousands of fake songs using artificial intelligence and then streamed those fake songs billions of times, says U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton. So even the feds are calling AI slop.
Okay, I mean, because
Crazy.
it's crazy, but here's the crazy part. Because I'm not in the game like I used to be. I'm now in a more consultative space with different business industries, but I knew that stream farming was happening. So my question is, are they using him as we're gonna make a point, an example? Because I know a lot of people that
Do it.
have opted and used
But
these.
I don't know if they've done it on that level of millions of dollars. Like this guy, when I say some of these criminals are genius, that's a genius, bro. That is a genius. And if he was to use his genius more properly,
He's like the Wolf of Wall Street.
100%, and use that genius more properly to break new artists, because he was breaking AI artists.
Yeah.
But what he probably was sick of was dealing with the artists. After they break, now they tripping. Now they wild. Now here comes their manager. Here comes their dad. Here comes this person. Here comes that person. With the AI stuff, it is no person. So he don't have to psychologically have to deal with these people. It's almost like if they had a clip with Master P transitioning from music business to product business.
Yeah.
And then he grabs the oodles and noodles and he says, "You see this? This ain't gonna talk back. This ain't gonna complain. This is gonna sell." And I understand where he's coming from,
That's a
because
fact.
so many people talk so much and they can't sell water to a well. You know what I'm saying?
I
They can't
yeah.
do nothing, and they got the biggest talk. They're geniuses. They're and even a talk with me and you just had about intelligence and money.
Yeah.
Being a genius and being rich. Just because you're a genius don't mean you're gonna be rich. You know what I'm saying?
look,
There's a lot of rich
that's a
people
fact.
that can trump you and beat you out with consistency. You know what I'm saying?
I got to support that, because I like to think of myself as somebody who operates at a high level, but I've met a lot of CEOs that may not be operating with that certain intellect, but they're rich and they're
100%.
really good at business.
Audio, you're gonna be rich.
Oh, that's a fact.
You are gonna be rich if
That's
you
a
keep
fact.
up with
Yeah.
this great thing you're doing here and get this information out here. You know what I'm saying? Sweat Equity and Sweat Academy is going to be huge, because we're dropping the knowledge
Absolutely.
that people don't want to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ray Daniels. Shout out to all them boys who's really out there trying to teach, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and
Really
educate.
trying to educate. And yeah, it's about the dollar. Nobody want to not make no money doing a
course.
podcasting thing, but at the same time, if we can teach and show, we can create a better South Florida, a better Florida, a better understanding. Because once we do that, then everything else will work in itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll create an ecosystem, and this person is going to need that person, but it starts with the acumen.
Mhm.
And I think that was always the deficit that I saw in like music, in the music industry. That was my biggest complaint, was just like the level of business acumen always annoyed me, because I did a fair share in corporate America. So I got to work at Fortune 500 companies, and I was like, I know this don't go like this.
Well, it's just like the changing of Miami and the changing of the guard. You got to keep up with the radio being the number one thing. Then it segues to this. Then it segues to that. Then it's streaming. Then it's this. Even at the Music Mecca Miami, like where I'm at every day in my studio, it's like I'm getting more streamers than producers.
I've been
you know what I'm
seeing
saying? I'll be getting a whole bunch of more streamers, but the streamers are the producers. The streamers are the engineers. It's just Kick has opened up a whole new operation point for more people to see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you could take what you're doing on Kick and put it back on Instagram too.
1,000%.
So like I'm understanding this more myself as being, my age. I ain't super old, but I ain't super young. So, but
you're close enough to be tapped in with like what's going on.
That's why I try to
floor.
be. I try to stay around people like you who's doing 50,000 different things. I try to stay around musician, other people, and just try to stay around product placement people and other market, Latin market, Haitian market, Caribbean market, everything market, just to understand the buying power and the thought process of these people. Because the more you understand them, you could do better songs like that. If the more I can understand that culture, I could do a better song to understand that culture, even though I'm not from that culture. You know what I'm saying? But if I understand, like I want to learn Spanish right now. I want to learn Creole. I want to. I'm trying, so I can at least with the clientele I'm dealing with. And I had a bunch of Latin brothers in my studio the other day, and Coppola and the Rude Boys and all these different people, and they still show me crazy love, even though there was a huge language barrier with what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But they gonna figure out how to get the the keywords in between.
Yeah, because they want to be around what's happening.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
They see the rap, they see the Latin music, they see the.
They love the culture.
They love the culture. I love their culture. So
And
it's just
I-
if I could find a way to just understand poquito. You know what I'm saying? I'm good, you know? So.
I mean, so to talk about what you're talking about, and I know this is a segue from our reaction, but I think this is important because you talk about making music for people, and I was doing a consult yesterday with an artist, and I told him like you have to get back to when you have to get back, and I was kind of like conflicted because I was like I feel like I sound like an old head, but it's like you have to start making music for people, like I think was it Jimmy Iovine who had made that like quote. He's like, you want to make house music, and I think somebody introduced that quote to me that because they watched some content, and I thought he was like house music. I was like, I make house music. I like house music, but he was like, no, buy you a house music.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And so you have this concept where mainstream music this is the narrative I've been seeing online. I don't know if you've been seeing it, but mainstream media, mainstream music is a dub. It's over. It's all kind of like interest and niched.
I kind of agree with that because as a producer, like, okay, you ain't selling no beats right now as a producer. What can I do to stream more? Do instrumental albums. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think? Okay, because now you're talking about a space that I frequent.
Yeah.
I used to.
Because I catch myself in the car riding out to instrumental albums now, just not even lyrics, just a nice beat. It could spur my thought process to think more on words and like to exercise my brain.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Let's talk economy because I'm a numbers and money guy.
Definitely.
So I was a music producer, and there was a time where and it possibly still could be because I'm be honest with you, I don't commission or I don't solicit music like I used to.
Yeah.
You would get a fee. I think at the height of what I was doing, I was getting like $7,500 a record.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah.
Just, but I also know some guys who would get some numbers.
Yeah.
But with the current landscape, because I just follow. I track the numbers, the business, and the economy.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a deficit in what they can get in return, and they're probably not going to spend much because it's all about ROI.
Yeah.
So there was a time where you was $100,000 a beat. I know that was gone along. You know,
Yeah,
that's
That's like 5 albums right there, 100K. 5, 6 albums you could do within that with music videos and marketing campaigns and
Right.
everything, you know?
So it's because I think you're still in the system.
Mhm.
Is the spin from majors, has it dropped, or or you haven't really seen a change?
They just looking other places. They're not really looking at radio no more, where you
Right.
know the labels would look for what the mix show is playing, what DJ Khaled is playing, what DJ Irie is playing, what the mix show jock is actually playing. But now it's more so streams and views. You know what I'm saying? And they're looking at the reaction point. Then, okay, say you're getting a little bit of radio spins. They know that's real because they hear it on the radio. So when they go to the internet now, they don't know if that's real. So now they have programs
Yeah.
to double check if your views are real, and verify.
I be telling them, it's like
And then
they're gonna
once
find
you
out.
then once you do that, you figure out, okay, where on the map are their views coming from? If your views are coming from Yugoslavia
Yes.
and you live in
It's probably
Tampa,
something
ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
It's a
But if
bullshit.
if it's Tampa people or South Florida people, that's why Florida's a great place to really do your thing, because there's so many cultures here.
Yeah.
And you could do a song, you could do a mashup song, you could do a feature with another artist with this on a different wavelength. They don't even speak your language, and people may still vacillate to it because of the beat. Like we are in a place that we are so lucky, because there's so many new things launching here and so many new areas, but you got to figure it out. If you don't figure it out, you will be lost in the next 2 to 3 years, bro.
Yeah, no, yeah,
You know?
and that's why I champion like you getting like out and ahead of, like, let me make sure I at least position for pivot. You know, like
1,000%.
because
1,000%.
my question would be, I have friends with who have studio, and you actually told me this the other day. We were talking. He was like, I know a lot of niggas. I know a lot of people selling their studios.
Mhm.
Is what is the economy like for recording studios? Because we see things like Guitar Center and Sam Ash, and they're I mean, they were struggling when Amazon came in.
Yeah.
Brick and mortar was always gonna be a problem. But what is the current economy of like recording studios? Because I'm actually in the process of partnering potentially with somebody.
Oversaturation.
Oversaturation,
Especially
too
in
many?
South Florida. There's too many, and they're not being built properly.
right?
For one, they're not spending the money on diffusers and programming, and they're not spending the money on the floating the floor.
Floating the floor.
They're not. They're just putting a room in
And some
and
tile.
and some cabling, and you expect to get a great sound. You expect to be you expect for a Dr. Dre Chronic song off that Chronic album to come on, and then your song to come on and stand up to it.
Yeah.
Not happening. And that was my always goal, to play a Dr. Dre, and then you play
Yeah.
a Trick Daddy, and you're like, whoa,
You hear the
Dre, like, who Trick, what? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because you feel it, you know what I'm saying? But that comes from the engineer, the shaping the sound, that went to school here, that understands what people
and
want in
mixed-
their car.
and mixed in the room that was treated. And,
then but like to understand, like, yo, this music gonna be played in the boom, like the drop top, or it's just it's a mindset, and the ones that really understand it are the ones that win. And now it's even more in your face than now about the ones that are winning, because the game is totally changed, because now the people have a wider range to pick from. You know what I'm saying? Before, when I got my car, all I had was radio. Now I could play my phone, I could play my Spotify, I could play my radio, I could play my YouTube.
Yeah.
I could play so many different things when those things wasn't there before. So
Yeah.
what you got to do is get organized and get understanding of, hey, okay, here's my niche market. Okay, I'm a breakfast restaurant. I close at 2:00. I'm concentrating on breakfast. And those the ones that are smart ones who do that at 2:00. Them dudes caked off already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that lunch from 2 to 5 thing is or dinner, is that still there? Or people at home eating? But it's just understanding your niche market and understanding how to attack it and win. I don't do the best of it, but I do my research as much as I can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To understand the culture here with the soccer games,
Yeah.
the football games. You saw the owner of the Dolphins, Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross, he says he makes more money with the Grand Prix than in a couple days than an NFL season.
Damn.
You can Google it.
Nah, I
You
believe
can Google it, but There's now, but
It's
now
Grand Prix racing.
with the F1 race and all that
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Like, yeah, he makes more doing that than an entire, I don't know how many games, like 12 games, a 12-game season.
That's insane.
That's insane. You know what I'm saying? But does he want to? He's not going to get rid of the Dolphins.
No,
but
it's
just
good.
because that's an attraction here in Miami. The Dolphins, University of Miami, the Grand Prix, Messi and the soccer, the food, the South Beach, the spring break for Lauderdale. Man, we got, man, and you're not even talking about Upper Florida, Orlando, Disney World.
Oh,
Look at Rolling Loud moving to Orlando. And I guarantee the Miami people, when they first made that announcement, they were like, oh man, they moving. But I guarantee it's going to be more comfortable for them up there.
Yeah.
There's more hotels. There's more Airbnbs. There's more
the tourism.
There's more things to do.
Yeah.
So, it could really help them being able to, I can accept 40,000 people coming to Orlando because that's a regular thing.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But sometimes when, so many people come into Miami, that's, it's a smaller place. We don't have a lot of Airbnbs by Miami Gardens the stadium. We don't have a lot of hotels over there. We don't have a lot of, you know what I'm saying? But Miami is coming up. That's why I say, as once we align with all that stuff, it's over. But I don't want to leave Miami right now because it's popping.
Yeah. No, I mean, maybe in the next 10 years, I might be looking somewhere like
100%.
Cala,
100%. Go back to Jamaica.
You got plans to go back to the island?
Who knows, bro? Like, I see a lot of people in Jamaica live to like 100-something years old, and you know what I'm saying? It must be something with the foods and the naturalness in the air. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they different lifestyle, probably less processed foods.
Yeah,
they're very like food. Like focus, like a health focus on like what they eat.
100%.
My
dad a Rasta man, so
they don't play.
About the Ital foods and all those different type of things, man.
So I got something that I want to, Billboard, they got a podcast now. Everybody has to have a podcast now, and if you need a podcast, make sure to holler at us. We do podcast production, and we have multiple locations for you guys.
Yeah, and we're also going to start some AI analysis. So you're going to be able to get with us, and we're going to be able to assess your situation and see how we can implement some AI into your system.
1,000%.
So we're going to make an announcement real soon about that with the marketing and all that stuff like that.
And we definitely got some exciting things that we're working on to help you guys scale as creators. Because I know you're entrepreneurs, you're a startup, and just like most startups, they are not usually very liquid.
100%. So
if we can provide the tools that help you scale, I think we're doing our job.
No, definitely.
So
definitely.
We got a really cool clip. I don't know if we're going to be getting to all the ones in the list, but this is Mark Cuban saying something.
I like Mark Cuban.
I like him.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Shark Tank. This is one of my favorite shows. But so Billboard has a podcast now, and the host is talking to Mark Cuban, and he has an interesting take on the music industry. Let's go ahead and play it.
We all know Mark Cuban, the famous investor, known best perhaps because of his appearances on the hit TV show Shark Tank, has previously said in an interview that there's a few sectors that he considers to be the death in investing. This includes restaurants, liquor brands, clothing lines, and music.
I agree with
of course, when I knew I was going to
the
state of Texas to film some live episodes of On the Record at South by Southwest, I knew I wanted to have Mark on to tell us why he said that. So on this episode of the show, here is an outside investor's perspective on the challenges and opportunities in music investing.
Billboard getting into the podcast game.
Hello. Look, I had to pick a Texas band because we're in Texas today, y'all. Well,
actual part.
A ton of interest from the financial world, like your KKRs, your Shamrock Capitals of the world, in investing in older music. Like we're seeing these giant sums of money for Queen's catalog, Britney Spears, whatever. And it's just interesting.
That's a fair point.
That's not really
fair
music
point.
Investing. It just happens to be music that is the vehicle for their investment. Because they look at Queen, they look at David Bowie, they look at the original Bowie bonds, right?
Oh yeah.
And so they say, here's all the licensing revenues pretty much every year, and it's consistent, and it increases by 3 or 4%.
I know you guys know that.
And
Y'all got
artist
y'all
really
catalog.
hasn't been able to get a big cash out yet, or the catalog owner at that point in time. So someone like a KKR, a big investment company, will just come in and say, okay, I'll give you all this money. And they just see it as, here's my returns. It's almost like, owning an apartment building.
It's an asset.
Yeah, it's
that's,
just an
that's
asset.
how they always phrase it. As
Kind
like,
of simplified it a little bit there.
No, no,
He's-
100%.
If you say that in front of an artist, that would really freak them out.
Yeah, because it kind of like diminishes their art, their work, and everything. And they're right? At that point in time, they don't care who the artist is. They just care who licenses it. And then once you own the catalog, if they want to put you into a Skechers commercial,
I'll give you
what-
the gist of it. He says that the music industry the music industry is one of the worst investments. He also says liquor. I
Restaurants.
also agree. And restaurants got a very smart margin of error, so I agree with that as well. It's a tough thing to hear because I spent 20 plus years in the music industry.
Mhm.
But if I had to be objective, there's an objective truth to what he's saying, just from an economic, in financial perspective. I'll kind of break it down because like a lot of people. You ever hear like an artist be like, all right, you need to diversify your verticals or diversify. They always say the first thing they say is merch.
Mhm.
And it's kind of weird to me because it was like, you can sell merch without having a song.
Mhm.
You market the brand, market the lifestyle of the brand, and you can start selling shirts. So like you don't have to do music to sell shirts.
Mhm.
And I think like it's a weird paradigm that you have to attach other verticals to support the actual product, so to
Mhm.
speak.
Mhm.
It's a very, very weird thing that I can
That's
never...
why he's saying rest music. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not passionate about it, it's going to be tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people that I've known that has got super rich off music, it was their passion.
Yeah.
So they weren't taking no for an answer. But as a businessman, as you're seeing your money just drop lower, 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 and you're like, man, this is not working out. And I got
400,000.
I got into this as a business. And I didn't get into this as a, you know what I'm saying, as that person, as a passionate person. I wanted to flip my investment some type of way because I see music is something that I kind of like. It looks flashy, it looks this, but I always keep telling y'all, like I told you on the last podcast, listen to the people that make money off music and entertainment.
Those
Do not listen to people. If you're trying to get in this, don't listen to people that are rich off real estate or rich off other things
that do music.
that do music.
Yeah, that's the difference.
They have a love for it, but that's not just paying for the studio time or paying for us to market their music or even paying for a festival. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you got to look at is like all the different ways you can make money. You know what I'm saying? Because you could do a song, but you using that song to sell your merch. You know what I'm saying? You could do, it's so many different things. There's so many artists who don't stream a lot, but they tour a lot. There's so many artists who tour a lot that don't stream a lot. There's so many perspectives of the whole music game where, like Mr. Mark Cuban, where he's he's a smart guy, so he's like, music is something I can force down your throat, or it can go organically. I'm used to controlling the gambit.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban seemed like a person to me, like he wants to control the.
Yeah, he needs
like
to.
he wants to control.
I need to know
like
how
I own an NBA team, but let me grab Luka. And let me
Yeah.
grab certain people to make my niche a little different, and let me market Luka. Let me, like, you know what I'm saying? Let me, because honestly, Luka's always been there, but I think the Dallas Mavericks. No, was it Nowitzki? Was Nowitzki? My bad. Nowitzki. But I like the way that Mark Cuban thinks. I like the way he markets. I like the way he's one of those people. Everybody on that Shark Tank stage, even like
Kevin O'Leary. That's
making
my boy.
fun. They're making fun of him. Now he the hottest one.
Yeah,
you
nah,
know why?
yeah. Yeah, well, he created. He helped me basically make a statement in 2026. I was just like, I'm going to be one of those people that become more signal than noise.
Mhm.
He was like, most people are like operating from 80% noise and 20% signal. Signal being the goal.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to be the opposite. I'm going to be 80% signal and 20% noise,
Yeah.
which is basically you ignore all the distractions. But what's interesting here is because even when you're saying what you're saying, there is a consensus that music as the product or the asset is almost considered a loss leader, and use that loss leader to create vehicles to other verticals. I'm somebody who consider myself like a serial entrepreneur. Like, you know, I started like multiple businesses. You know, not all of them worked, but to me, it was just like, bro, just go straight to, you know, to go to market with the product and make sure you validate it and it works. You sell, you're gonna make money. So I guess I guess my reaction with him is like it's a hard objective truth that I have to say, like, I agree. I'm like, yeah, it's probably not a good investment. You know, this a thought experiment here. You know, your child decides, but I want to get in the game. I have 2 young ones. I don't know if I could support it.
Exactly.
I mean, to be honest,
even the way how it's cutthroat now, and it's not the same, because back in the days, you can a young lady could dress appropriately and, you know, be talented and play an instrument, but now they wanting a lot more.
You want to be sexy red.
From that is tough, bro. It's really tough because not everybody's like that. That's why the game is like niche marketed to figure out what is it that they like from you. Is this even business worth it for you? Because you may not want to do all the things that you got to do leading up to this business. And it's a tough business, bro, especially if you're trying to get in now when they say what, over 100 to 300,000 songs are released a day.
I think it's like 1 million now.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, we had 1 million.
AI,
so every 30 days, there's 30 million people releasing music.
Somewhere here we got some numbers and
how
facts.
How do you battle against that? You know what I'm saying? What do you like? It's just, that's why I said, when you mentioned the studio world about people building studios, it's saturation point in South Florida. Build content houses, build streaming things.
Right.
Don't think about it, dog. Think like, I'm not your enemy. Like, whatever we did in the music studio game, we're done. We did it already. We did it when the market was huge. That's back in the days when I had video directors like Joseph Kahn shooting Missy Elliott videos for $500,000. You know what I'm saying?
Those are the good days.
Those are the good days. Those days are done, because back in the days when you sold 1 million copies at $12, bro, that's $12 million.
They were making bank.
Now 1 million streams is like $3 to $5 grand. You know what I'm saying?
We got the numbers here.
The game is crazy, bro.
1 million streams is about 4K on average. And I mean, and to get 1 million streams is not easy. We know. I mean, majority of people don't get 1,000 streams. So it's a tough game, because, you know, now you're talking about running ads.
But look what it says right there: middle class left 0. It's almost like there's no middle class for artists. And that's becoming in the entire world. The middle class is being totally wiped out. You know what I'm saying? It's either the have or the have-nots. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy. And we are so powerful as a unit here in South Florida. We so powerful as a team. Big shout out to Flow Rider. Big shout out to Freezy. Big shout out to E-Class and all of them are doing the finger licking, what Freezy's doing with Carroll City High School, what they're doing with the Plaza. I'm not a hater. I can't hate. They killing it. You know what I'm saying? And more people need to move like that as a unit, as a team, to build for the future. Because if we build for the future, it's better for everybody. If it's more gaps and holes open, there's more people that can run for the touchdowns and score. You know what I'm saying? Here's NIL to give all the kids the money. Oh, you could do whatever you want. Now here's this, a new law coming to try to like now to get percentage them with the whole NIL thing. So it's like, you want to do this, but you want to do that. Once they saw the floodgates and they saw the marketing that these kids were doing, the businesses that you can start. If I find a young 10th grader that goes to, let's say, American high school that I went to, and he's he's marketable, I could take that kid, if he's doing decent, and make sure my NIL paperwork and all that is together, and shop him to different brands. And he may not be the best player, but maybe if they know he got the best marketing, they will give it a chance. You know what I'm saying?
No, without a doubt. If he's got some traction,
I saw the one with an NIL kid. I don't know what school he is, but he went and took the money and opened a Baskin and Robbins.
That's smart.
You know what I'm saying? But they weren't doing that. And
you got a franchise.
If you watch these kids, they're getting smarter.
No, they said definitely
alcohol consumption is down.
Sex is down.
Everything is down. People.
It's a weird generation.
People are with the whole working out. And it's just they want a better world.
They're actually logging off socials too.
100%.
The younger generation is actually disengaging with a lot of because it's it becomes an overconsumption of information and addiction to all of these, or what I call noise. You know, you got food noise, you got alcohol is a big problem, you know, especially in my generation. But they are disengaging, and I have a lot of confidence in them, like figuring out what they're gonna do. Like, you know, I'm having talks. You know, I got a 17-year-old, and we're having the conversations about college. And I got to be honest, it's a tough talk because I don't necessarily hold the position. Like, I don't think you have to do that anymore. You can probably go trade, or you can go do something.
But what they see is what they see on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they think Instagram is the real world when it's not the real world, because it doesn't work out like that. Instagram can be a basis for you to try things and see, but it's not the real world. That's why
no, nothing's on this. Nothing on Instagram is real.
That's why the way we in my age group, you know what I'm saying, look at Instagram to like another age group, it's not real to me. I'm on it as a learning process, as using it for promo and all that stuff, but I'm not basing my life story off.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not basing nothing off it. I listen to what everybody say. I listen to the podcasters. I listen to everybody, but I know they're not experts.
I'm actually telling.
They're just like us. They're not experts. I can say I'm an expert possibly in the music industry. So when I talk about anything else, I'm just talking about my opinion or my experience with these things. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling the young guys, like, and the young guys that I kind of mentor. I'm like, man, LinkedIn, bro, go to LinkedIn.
100%.
Start building your LinkedIn presence.
And Reddit. Reddit is good too. Because if you post something on Reddit, it's like a promo thing. They're like, get off the platform. this ain't for the promo. I'm looking for intellectual. I'm looking for smartness. I'm looking to learn something on Reddit. I'm looking to have a debate with somebody that's logical, and it could be we're getting heated, but there's nobody saying F you, or we're stating facts, we're stating stats.
It's a forum where you can start within in small communities around ideas. You can position yourself to be like an opinion leader, where if you're really an expert and authority in what you're talking about, you can go build your community in Reddit. Absolutely.
But that's what I'm going to show you. Like, when I look at socials, including Reddit, including LinkedIn, it shows me how smart you are.
And Substack.
It shows me what Discord and all that. I'm like, it shows the brain capacity. Because there's people that can be like, we're on laptop. I'm on Discord, Blackboard, Discord, but you can't sell water to a well. But I got another kid over here who's only on Instagram with the 50 subscribers paying him $10 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, like, you got to know how to adequately use these platforms and use your influence to monetize or give information out for the monetization to come back a whole different type of way. Because it may not come back through subscribers. It may come back through a phone call. It may come back through a booking. It may come back through a different thing. That's why I give myself so much space to breathe with the different businesses that I have, because a client may start with Big Sound and end up with marketing, end up doing an album, end up, you know what I'm saying? There's so many different ways. Once they get to know you as a person, then they're figuring out, how do I scale my LED screens? I got 20 LED screens. I bought them 10 years ago. They all working good, but I don't know where to put them. And then now here comes me. I meet him now, like, yo, let's do an LED business. You know, with the LED walls, like, I'm fronting like it's mine when it's not mine, but me and him are splitting that back end money. You know what I'm saying?
That's arbitrage.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So you would leverage somebody else. Somebody said, I heard this, I wish I could remember who said it, but it was like, own nothing, control everything.
100%.
And I was like, yeah, you don't.
Like my dad says, Uber does not own a car.
They don't own a car.
You know what I'm saying? Uber Eats does not own a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? But millions of dollars being made. Just the funnel to create vacations. Yeah. Like, if you have an app that's like a vacation finder, right? Yeah. And you could be like, yo, this vacation finder is tailor made to just families who ain't got it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Who can go and get a loan for it. And shit, Airbnb is doing loans. You know what I'm saying? Not loans to you, but they'll loan you money to stay at their place, and you got to pay it back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah. But I'm just showing you, like, they're trying to gap that holes in those different things. It's
they understand where their economy's at, but they still need to get you to spend. So,
and they want to make money. You know what I'm saying? So how could I go about doing these things, man? But we're going to wrap it up, man.
Yeah, man.
We done been about an hour, dog.
Hey, this was a good episode, man. We really appreciate y'all taking the time. Make sure that you like, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you do need anything in terms of podcast production, marketing, and branding consultants, stage production. If you need Inner Circle to come and do your event, you know, make sure you get in the DMs, reach out to us, and we'll get in touch with you, man.
Definitely get in touch, man. This your boy Abebe Lewis.
And I'm Audio Jones. This is the Sweat Equity Academy. Until next time, love y'all.
Peace.